everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is finally another episode of my Squishy Makeover series where I am giving makeovers to these squishies that I have. As you can see here, today I have a set of 6 squishies, and I'm not going to paint all of them today, but I am going to pick a couple to paint, and the rest I'm going to save for coming weeks where I do plan on giving a maker over to all 6 of them. There's like 2 donut squishies, a like scone, croissant squishy, a bunny, a panda, and a koala. And it might be obvious enough already, but my plan is to glue one of these animal squishies on one of these dessert bread things and kind of make them like a set. And I was just super excited for this, and I decided to start with this donut and this panda squishy. I'm starting by cutting off any of like the rough edges and just trimming up the squishy in any way that I basically need to or want to before I sand the squishy and glue it on. I am using a fabric glue called Fabric Fusion to glue the squishies on. I honestly was really scared this wasn't gonna work out because sometimes I use this glue and it just doesn't glue correctly, but by some miracle it glued perfectly, except for the fact that I glued it crooked, which I didn't realize at this point, and I sealed it in with some fabric paint, specifically puffy paint. I was just so amazed that it glued on perfectly in my eyes that I didn't even think to check and make sure that I had it centered. After a bunch of coats of this fabric puffy paint, it was fully sealed and it was not going anywhere, and I still hadn't realized that it was crooked, but I dove right into the white base coats, and this took a lot of white. I'm not sure why, but recently my white fabric paints, even like the matte paint, is like super transparent. And so my base white coats have just been taking forever. But once I was finally done, I started painting the panda into a purple, like a very light pastel purple. And I accidentally painted the top like frosting or icing on its head purple as well, but I ended up changing my mind on that later. And then for the actual frosting of the donut, I'm going with a nice yellow color. I try to pick colors I don't normally pair together. I'm trying new things, but I did go really basic with the donut. I went with like just a basic chocolate brown color. I felt like brown would go well with the yellow and the purple. And then here I'm fixing the frosting on its head to be the same yellow. It looks a bit darker now because of the purple underneath, but I'll fix that later. I started by doing one coat of color over everything just to make sure I liked the idea I had planned out. Then I focused in on the brown to do like have like the whole base brown done, just to make sure I liked the intensity of that brown and the color of it. And then I continued in with the fun part, at least for me the fun part, which was the actual colors with the yellow and purple. The yellow, like always, was really transparent, and the purple wasn't as transparent, but since it was a much lighter purple, it did take about 3 or 4 coats. And I believe the brown took 4 coats and the yellow took 4 or 5 coats. But it honestly didn't feel like that much. I was honestly surprised with how quickly I was going through this squishy. Maybe it was just the excitement to do all 3 sets. I'm just a really big fan of sets, especially when it's something cute like animals on desserts. At this point, the purple's kind of looking more of almost like a grayish purple, and I'm not sure how I like that, but I still kept going until I had a complete opaque set of color down. Again, I'm pretty much always touching up the yellow because it was so transparent. But I believe this was the final coat of yellow that I did on the frosting. And although this was technically a panda to begin with, I think it's technically now more just a bear because it doesn't really have the panda features. But that's fine with me. I like bears, I like pandas. I think it still looks cute. And at this point, I'm finally happy with like the base design, and I'm adding in the details. I'm starting by using the same chocolatey brown to do like 2 little chocolate balls on top of the frosting, and using that same brown to paint in the face of the bear. I just felt like a dark black would not go well with like the pastel theme, and I felt like the brown on the face would help tie in the panda slash bear with the actual donut itself. And then I'm using a similar purple but just a bit more, I guess, darker, a more vibrant purple to do in some little details on the ears and the feet of the bear, because they're starting to look a little too boring in my eyes. And I wanted to add sprinkles with the same purple, but I felt like it would be random if the panda didn't have any of those details with that color. And I went with drawn on heart sprinkles, and then I dotted on some like tinier sprinkles. And this is how it turned out. I feel like he looks really cute. I did put eyebrows on him, which might have been a mistake. I'm kind of on the fence. I feel like he looked cute before without them, but I think he also looks cute with them. It is definitely a different design, or a somewhat different design than what I normally do, but I was trying to come up with something different, but that would also go good with the other 2 sets that I'll be doing in coming weeks. But I do really like how he turned out. I think he looks really cute, and I really hope you all enjoyed him as well. I was super excited when I finished this. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!